Hello, welcome to this tutorial. In this video we are going to discuss Gradebook setup. The Gradebook setup allows you to add and manage categories and items. You can also choose your aggregation methods, arrange the Gradebook, and change these weightings and other settings. To access the Gradebook, expand the left menu if it is not expanded, and then click Grades. The first time you open the Gradebook in your course, it opens the Grader report by default. Click the drop-down menu and select Gradebook Setup. Here is the Gradebook. We have added some categories and items, and there are some activities also in this Gradebook. Next, we are going to add an item to the Gradebook. So those items are offline graded items or graded activities which are not available in your Moodle course. To add an item, scroll down to the end and then click Add Grade Item. Here are the settings of the grade item. Write a name for your item, for example, speaking test. Please note that not all of these settings. To expand all of these settings, click Show More. You can add item information or ID number. Item information is optional. Write some information about the item and it will not be displayed anywhere else. The ID number is optional too. So here you can write a unique identifying number for this item for purposes like grade calculation and custom reporting. We have three grade types: value, scale, and text. Value means a numerical value with a minimum and maximum grade. If I choose value, I can set a minimum, maximum grade and a grade to pass. If I choose a scale, then I can choose one of the scales available here. You can set your own scales before. The last option is text, and it means to add feedback text only in this item. So if we choose value, then you can set the maximum grade, which is the highest grade for this item, and for example, let's say 10, then the minimum grade, for example, 0, and the grade to pass is optional, but you can determine the minimum the grade to pass, so you can use it in completion tracking, in awarding badges, and to grade reporting and other settings. For example, we will put 7 as a grade to pass. You can also choose the grade display type. We have three display types: real, letter, and percentage. Real shows the value or actual grades. The letter is the grade is represented by letters or words, for example A, B, C, and the percentage will show the percentage of the grade. You can also choose to represent grades by two display types, like this one, the letter and the percentage, the letter real, the percentage letter, or the percentage real. So here, for example, percentage and real, the percentage of the grade, for example 100%, and then in parentheses it will show the real grade 100, for example. The overall decimal points in this setting determines the number of decimal places to be displayed. You can display up to 5 decimal points. If you choose 0 or 1 decimal point only, it will not affect the grade calculation accuracy, which is made up to 5 decimal places. You can also choose to hide this item from students. and you can keep it hidden until a certain time. So after this date and time, the students will be able to see this item and its grades. You can choose to lock the item so you and other teachers will not be able to edit the grades. Of course, you can edit the grades after locking by changing this setting to disabled. Choose the grade category you want to add this item to. For example, I will add it to the speaking exams. And you can choose if it is an extra credit or not. Then save the changes. So here is our item under the speaking exams category. You can add categories also to your gradebook. To add any category, scroll down to the end of the gradebook setup page, click add a category. Categorizing helps you in arranging your grade items, and you can also set a weight for the category. The default parent category is your course category. Of course, not all of the teachers need to add categories. It depends on your distribution of grades and activities. So write a name for your category. For example, quizzes. And then choose an aggregation method. This is how the grades are calculated in this category. There are 9 aggregation methods. Some of them will be explained later. The default aggregation type is simple weighted mean of grades. Click show more to see more settings. You can exclude empty grades or include those empty grades. Empty grades means those are missing from the gradebook. So if you choose to exclude, then they will not be aggregated. Those might be grades of an assignment which hasn't been graded yet, or quizzes which are not attempted. If you disable this option, then those empty grades will be calculated as the minimum grade, which is 0 in most of the cases. You can also include outcomes in the aggregation, but if it is enabled, then it may result in an unexpected category total. So it's better to leave it. The category total, we have the same settings. Select the item, you choose the grade type, value, scale or text, and then you choose a display type, letter, percentage or real, and you choose how many decimal points to view, and you can choose to hide or lock this category. Of course, you can also choose your parent category, which I will choose the course parent category. Then I will save the changes, and our category is added here. You can also edit the settings again, delete it or hide it. The same thing for grade items. For example, this grade item, I can change the settings, I can delete it and or hide it. If I delete, for example, this item, I have to confirm and then click yes. If there are any grades in the item, of course they will be deleted if you choose to delete the item.